Hi, welcome to today's episode of Draping Basic Bodies. So we will start with having the fabric. I should be able to explain to you where the grain line is. See where the dotted lines are. In the lesson, I would definitely tell you more. So that edge of the fabric, which we call the selvage, that's where we would start. And see here, I'm cutting this because this is 100% cotton. We should be able to just snip a fabric and then, how to say, tear it up just by pulling. So I'm just gonna make the same size for the back, more or less. So basically the width of this piece that we're doing is just basically more or wider than the width of the back and the front, because we're just using the half. It should be fine. So it means I cut two pieces of fabric, and we are gonna start with the front. Okay, so first one is we will pin the fabric slightly off the center. Like, see, it's like I'm pinning on the center front itself. Sorry, I'm blocking the view. And I would start with the neck going down. Okay, normally your mannequin should have a line, but for me, I don't know, it's so ugly, so I don't want to do that with my mannequin. Sorry teacher in fashion school. I prefer to just imagine where the lines are. Yeah, that's how I roll. Okay, so now I'm gonna slightly pull it backwards. So in the beginning, you might be annoyed with this large amount of fabric. That's okay, you can just pin it at the back so it's easier to manage. We will start with the neckline. So I would just tear it at the back as well, and later I will show you a close-up view, and I will start pinning where the neck and the shoulder line meets. So this is what I'm talking about, and these are the other parts of the fabric. Okay, so basically I'm just pinning the half. Okay, this is how it should look like. Okay, and just so you have another view. Okay, from there I would work on the neckline. Wait, so see this excess fabric here. This is normally by the waist. This is what you call the waist dart. So I would start gathering this fabric and slightly pinning it to one side. Like, imagine your clothes with darts. That's how it would look like. So I would just pin it on the side, and then okay, so here I am pinning the armhole. So I had to look at this. Okay, sorry. So now I'm pinning the chest dart as well. So it's upward. So you know this style of the dart, you can make it downwards as well. Just so pinning any excess fabric. And then now here on the neckline, I will trim it a little so I can see better. So see here, I cut it off. And then I will pin it more following the neckline of the mannequin. So see, it helps if you have this thing that I hold the pins on, because it's just with your hand. So now I'm gonna trim also the shoulder part. So before you do that, pin also on the shoulder. I've seen some people cut before they pin, which I find it weird. You should really cut first, and I mean pin first, then you cut, because you know once you cut, you couldn't bring those fabric back. So now I'm gonna trim it up like this, and just to show you the side of what I was doing. Oh my god, sorry, I really need to work on my camera angles. I just basically work and then, you know. Okay, so see here, the point is to pin everything on the side seam of your mannequin. Again, if I had the line, it would be easier to see or to show that. Okay, maybe for the next video I will have those ugly lines. I don't know, it's so much nicer with this on display if there's no line, so that's why I refuse. Okay, so moving on, I'm just gonna pin it downwards and then see here. Okay, there you go. Now we're gonna do the back. So this should be easier than the front because we don't need to do a dart for the chest. So see here, same thing, the grain line should be parallel to your center back. So this is a little bit after your center back. So the center back is the middle of the mannequin. So I'm just pinning maybe 3 cm after, and then I will go through the shoulder. So basically you pin and then you kind of cover the front part as well. Don't worry about that, just fold it, because later you will mark it and you will make patterns based on this. Okay, so I will go downwards, pin it downwards on the center back, and then turn it sideways so you can see. So you see here there's also some volume here, so we're gonna do a similar waist dart similar to our front piece. Normally when you do the patterns you can make it like in the same height, but it's totally up to you. So I'm just pinning it down. By the way, this one is probably one of the easiest thing to drape because we're just following the fabric. Believe it or not, it's more difficult to drape something loose because you know you don't have as much guideline. I mean, you don't have the mannequin. Anyway, to create volume is more difficult in my opinion. So I just tear down a little bit of this excess fabric because I couldn't see anymore the front part. Make sure when you do that you still have enough to pin towards the front. Oh my gosh, sorry, I keep blocking the whole view. Am I not gonna move? Okay, I would be better in the next video. Can you see at least? Yeah, okay, we can see at least. So just pin them together. In my experience, I pin it like this. Some people, they pin it like as if it's finished, you know, like they fold it really nicely. For me, I don't need to do that because anyway, I'm just gonna take it off later. And also some draping schools will ask you to do, so this is like the first step. You have to repin it, then trace it again on another fabric, and then redo again, and then do it a little bit more cleaner. For me, I don't know, I don't do that because I'm in a hurry and it's a waste. So just to show you a little bit of what I've done so far. So see here, there are some snips on the collar because that helps release the fabric and that would make it easier. And this is the pin part at the back. Okay, what am I doing? Okay, I'm continuing finishing the pinning. By the way, this video is quite short, but sometimes it takes an hour or so to do all of these things neatly. Okay, let's imagine we did it perfectly. With the marker, you're gonna mark the neckline, the shoulder, just add some marks. Okay, I hope this helps. I'm just using this marker for children, those washable ones, in case I write on my mannequin by mistake. I'm just gonna mark where the armholes are, and what we're gonna do with this is that we're gonna take off the pins, lay it on the table, and then, you know, like make some adjustments, make some corrections, and trace it on the paper. That way you can repeat this design again, or I don't know, do that. Some people, they keep this fabric in a file or on a folder, inside a folder. You can do that as well, totally up to you. Okay, so once you finish all those markings, there you go, that's how it should look like, and you can take a picture, and then, you know, we're all done.